So if anybody remembers anything that I did that you liked, or if there's anything that you want to work on today, please tell me before I mute everybody.
Just all around.
All around. That's always fine with me. How do I go back to that? Okay, guys, we'll just go ahead and make sure you have a strap today. You know, blocks if you normally use them, of course, but make sure that you have a strap today. If that's not something you always have ready. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. And we will get started. Mute. Okay, here we go. Move that out of the way. I think I have everything I need. Okay, I haven't done that one yet. There we go. All right, I'm seeing myself on four devices. A bit extreme. However, if I get one good recording, it will be worth it. Okay, and that's as bright as I can get it. I hope that you guys are seeing it a little brighter than how I see it on my camera, but anyway, blocks. Once you're settled on the mat, getting into that breathing as quickly as you can, not feeling rushed about it, but you know, we've done it for a long time. We know how important it is. So we're taking that slow breath in through the nose, slow exhale. Allowing that breath to come into the body, expand outward, starting at the chest, moving down into the ribs and the lungs, and then getting to the belly. And just, we want that to feel as natural as possible. And still kind of looking, making sure everything's working. So once you're feeling that breath and feeling how, there we go, it immediately hopefully makes you feel calmer, prepares our body for the movement that we're going to do today. If you're feeling like it's you're kind of already on track with the breathing, go ahead and bend the knees, and we're just going to place the you know, how we always do, the heels are going to line up with the center of the glutes here. Feel like we get the body, you know, the shoulders wide, but also the back is long. Also the neck is long, right? So we want to create space wherever we can. Have the body taking up as much space as it can, but still staying calm and relaxed. Arms are right next to you. So we're going to do just a little bit with the neck before we start doing the arms, which is normally how we start. So again, with those arms alongside you, even if you want to open them away a little bit, if you feel like that creates a little more space up here in the neck and shoulders, do that. I'm going to open mine just a little bit. And all we're going to do, I don't want you to move the head and then turn it, right? I want the back of the head to stay where it is. And then you're just going to let the ear drop, one ear drop to one side. You're going to exhale when you do that. And then just inhale as you bring it back up. And exhale, go the other way. So your ear isn't directly in the spot that the back of your head was in, if that makes sense, right? And inhale back up. So I just want you to do that a couple times on your own. Just see how far the head turns with, you know, we haven't really done any like warming up of the neck, of the muscles. So we're just letting the head drop, exhale, bringing the chin up in, or bringing the face back up, inhale. And then go right again and back up. Let's do that one more time. And then as we come back to center, again, make sure the neck feels it's as long again as it can be. And then we're going to bring the arm right next to us. Still feeling that belly breath coming in And feeling that exhalation, feeling the body get relaxed. So we're going to start our arm movement with the breath in, arms go over the head. With the exhale, excuse me, arms come back down to the mat. Let's do a few of those. Inhale, reach up and over. Exhale, bring the arms back down. And inhale, reach up. Feel that stretch now, getting, beyond just the hands and shoulders, and we want to really start to feel this lengthening where everything's attached into the torso, right? All right, make sure you have room, like if you happen to have them. Sometimes I put my blocks in the wrong place. You can kind of move them out of the way on that overhead stretch. Now on this one, I want you to just actually leave the arms overhead, right? So kind of let the hands, the backs of your hands come to the floor. If your shoulders are restricted a little bit or a lot, bend the elbows, make the arms go out more like a V. Try to bring them a little higher than the T, right? So a V or a Y, but if you need to just kind of bend the elbows to achieve that, you can do that too. What I really want you to feel here is from the center of the chest going outward, right? So wherever those arms need to be. Sometimes it's so helpful to, we move all through our practice, but sometimes just letting the body stay in position and let gravity help you with it can really increase some of those tight areas, really get some good stretch going, or breathing's very focused. So on those exhalations, if you do notice some tightness anywhere, we're just going to try to exhale and kind of see if those areas are able to relax a little bit more. Couple more here. All right, preparing to bring them back down. So on the inhale, I want you to stretch the arms long again, and on the exhale, bring them all the way back to the mat. Now we're going to go overhead again. Inhale. This time, exhale, bring that right knee in. We're going to stay right here with that right leg. So you could use a strap if you're having trouble getting that leg, but hold on wherever it's comfortable. We just want to avoid pushing or putting pressure right into the knee joint. All right, how's that feeling? Good? Let's move it a little bit in and out. You can use the hands if that helps. I'm going to try to work a lot on inner thigh today, on the groin area, so really notice how that's feeling right now so we can compare it a little bit later. And then I'm just start moving the knee around. What does that do? That starts to let the hip kind of move around inside the ball and socket here. Make sure you go more than 3 or 4 times, right? And we're going to go the other way. By the way, I just realized it's November. Can you guys believe it's November? All right, a couple more. Hopefully that's feeling good. All right, let's let the leg kind of relax, or take our focus now to the foot. Flex and spread the toes apart if you can. And then press the ball of the foot up. And now we're going to point and see if those toes can kind of point together. And notice if you get any kind of cramping in the foot. Obviously it doesn't feel good, but it might be something that you want to work on with a little bit of foot massage or some foot exercises, because we want to be able to always move our feet in every direction, right? So after you've done that warm up, you can circle. Again, I'm kind of going through this, I don't want to be too quick, but some of these movements we do all the time. And the one I want to add in here today is keeping the foot kind of parallel to your ceiling here. And now I want you to push the edges away from you. So push the outside edge a little further, and then bring it back to the middle, and then push that inside edge. This is the harder one for me, the inside edge. And then think about it, that inside edge is connected, if you go all the way up, what, into that inner thigh groin, right? So again, after you've moved your foot in every possible direction, you can even do that, kind of go from one corner to the other, kind of shake it out a little bit. All right, now keep the right leg up. Let's, if you have your strap handy, let's just take it onto the foot real quick. We're not going to be here as long as we normally are, but we're going to do a little bit of inner thigh work. So we're going to actually keep the left leg bent today for more stability, and we're just going to keep that strap on the right foot. You can have just the right hand on it, or you can have both hands on it. I've got my strap looped, and I'm just going to hold it with one hand, and I'm going to take a breath in. On the exhale, I'm just going to let that leg drop away from me, and on the inhale, I'm going to bring it back up. And I want you to try to just continue that. Exhale, let it drop open. And just notice what's happening with your left hip. Keep the left hip on the mat. If your whole pelvis is kind of shifting, you're going to need to pull it back a little bit. Don't take the right leg quite as far out. So again, just kind of letting this inner thigh, groin, just get a little stretch as we're exhaling. And then we inhale as we bring it back up. We'll do that a couple times. All right. And then just a little more hamstring stretch by bringing the leg a little further up. Now here you can let that left leg stretch out. And right away, like I notice how tight the front of my left hip is. So we're just going to keep that leg long, keep this leg extended. So we're working them both in different areas, right? All right, we're going to take the strap off, keep it nearby. We'll use it on the left next, so maybe you want to bring it to the left. But we'll do a little twist here, pull the right knee up and across, and then make sure that right shoulder's staying down. Not too long. Roll onto the back again. Let's bring the knees in and let the back roll a little bit, and then we're going to set it up again the same way. So heels lining up with the hips. Your legs are parallel. Get the body nice and comfortable here. All right. Let's take a breath or two here with everything remaining in that bent knees position. And then we're going to take the arms over the head on the inhale. On the exhale, we're pulling that left knee in right away, and we're keeping it in. Again, kind of notice how that one feels compared to the other one. And then again, kind of moving that leg out and in a little bit, starting with the inner thigh here. All right, now, same thing, start to then move the knee around. I'm not being as careful with the pelvis on this one, right? I'm kind of feeling a little bit of moving, weight shifting, all of that, making sure we go, about the same amount if you count. I try not to count sometimes because it makes me too like, the word, not anxious about it, but like I get, like I have to do this. So I'd rather just kind of go with the feeling rather than counting and making myself get a little bit too focused. Now, take that leg up slowly and flex, and then remember how we're going to kind of spread the toes out as we flex, press the ball of the foot up, and then point. And you don't have to do that for all of them, but if you're feeling stiff, like I've noticed, it's been pretty cold in the mornings lately. I definitely feel tighter, especially all the little, I guess pretty much everywhere, not just the little attachment, not just the little ligaments and tendons, but I'm definitely feeling it. Aging has a lot to do with that, I'm sure. All right, so then when the movement can get a little bit faster, I guess. I feel that blood moving around and going into the circles. Circle the other way. All right. And then just a little extension here. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Okay, so taking the strap now onto that foot. So keeping the other leg bent, right? That foot's going to stay on the ground to help us out. Go into a little bit of a hamstring stretch here. See how that feels? And then a little bit of inner thigh with the strap. So exhale, leg goes out. Inhale, leg comes in. Try to not let this knee go out the other way, right? Keep this leg completely in place. I'm a little close to that wall. I'm going to scoot over a bit. Make sure you've got some room for this one, right? Try it when we're doing this work with our strap. Try to never be jerky or kind of aggressive with the work. Try to really work slowly with the breathing. A couple more. All right, and then we're going to take the strap off, and we might use it later. We're going to pull that left knee back into the chest, and now the right leg stretches out. Again, you might need a moment to let that hip flexor relax. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and twist that left knee over and open that left arm away from you. All right, come onto the back again. Arms are over the head again. Our legs are long, and we're going to take a deep breath in and stretch the whole body, fingers to toes. On the exhale, relax. You can leave the arms overhead. Let's do it one more time. So inhale, stretch. Exhale, relax. Slowly turn over. Use your hands. Bring yourself up. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. We're going to be here for a little while. So if you want to have like a towel or blanket folded under the knees, go ahead and grab that. I think we're still recording. Okay. So we almost always start with cat and cow, which we're doing today. So once you get everything in place, take a deep breath in. Don't arch anything yet. Don't move the back, but see if you can feel that belly expansion on the inhale. On the exhale, pull it in. Pull those abdominals in. Inhale again, nice expansion, chest, belly, ribs, lungs. Exhale, contract just the belly. Inhale, expansion, moving into cow pose now. And exhale into cat. So this is where we really try to get as much movement to the back as we can. Feel that spine lengthening and lifting and arching, and feel those vertebrae spreading apart. Couple more. All right, now come back to all fours, and we're going to do that little happy dog, and I want you to just go side to side. The head and hips move one way, and then back to the middle and the other way. And more focus would be to exhale when you're curving to one side, inhaling when we're coming back to the middle, exhale, curving to the other side. So we're just going to make sure we keep doing that. Push your hips as far as you can. Look over that shoulder, side to side. All right, last time, do it evenly. Come back to the middle, inhale, Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. And then come back to a straight back. We want to have the hips right over the knees. Walk the hands out into that puppy pose. Just real little, just a short little stretch here. I want you to feel this happening right, kind of in the armpits. You're pressing, like from the shoulders behind you, you're pressing them toward the mat. One arm at a time if you like. You can do that for a while. You can do both. You can bring your chin down. All right, now, making sure everything's still going. All right, we're gonna bring the hands back a little bit. I'm gonna keep my hips over my knees. I'm gonna take one arm and turn the palm up and slide it under me and then roll kind of onto that shoulder. If it gives you a little bit more stretch to bring the hips back, you can do that. So find a position where you can just kind of let your shoulder press into the mat and the rest of your upper body kind of leaning into that shoulder. Slowly bring it back out. We're just going to switch. Take this arm, palm up. Same thing, slide down onto that shoulder. All right, a couple more breaths here. And then bring it back out, and we're just going to bring those hips back into child's pose. But you can bring the arms in, you can have them alongside you or forward, whatever you like. Now come into downward dog when you're ready, toes under, hips high. Stretch back. Move the head a couple different ways so that you kind of move it up and down, side to side, and then I want you to just try to let it hang heavy. All the tension leaving that neck. Keep pressing up and back. Drop down to your knees at any point or down to child's pose at any point when you need a break. So I'm just going to pedal my feet a little bit, get some movement happening here. All right. And then maybe you want to do both heels up and down. You can do that. But when you finally settle into that downward dog, when everything's feeling like you warmed it up a little bit, I want you to be there for a full 3 breaths before we move into our plank. Feel everything getting longer. And we're going to come to our plank after those 3 breaths. Make sure that the hands and shoulders are aligned. Exhale, lower slowly. Now I'm going to drop my knees, pull my elbows close. Still having some shoulder tight or like tenderness, I guess. And so I try to just go into that modified plank. Now inhale, lift into cobra. Think of moving forward and up, and those shoulders roll back as your heart lifts forward. Exhale, move all the way back to child's pose. All right, we're going to go through that little flow 2 more times, and then we're going to stay face down on the mat, and we're going to work the front of the hip and the inner thigh. So have that strap ready if you need it. If you can contact the foot behind you, totally fine. So let's get into our downward dog again. And inhale to plank or modified plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Really think of that forward and up movement. Lift the heart. Exhale, back to child's pose. You're going to go through that one more time on your own. I'll go with you. Now when you end up in that child's pose, take a breath or two. And then we're going to come to that downward dog again. We're going to come to plank and lower and stay there. Now, you can have that strap ready if you need it. We're going to keep the forehead on the mat. And if you don't really like your face right in the mat, you can bring that hand around, give it a little cushion. You can make your fist give it a little cushion, or your forearm, whatever's comfortable. I just use my kind of the very top of my hand. I'm going to grab my right foot. I'm going to pull that heel toward me. It's really important that you have the legs pretty close together. If you kind of move it out a little bit to get a hold of it, pull it back in so it stays aligned with the other leg, and then just pull the heel towards your hip. As always, using our breathing to help us if it's difficult or challenging. Body's resisting. If you exhale, let the body know it's okay. If it's pretty easy for you, you can intensify it by pressing the front of your right hip into the mat a little more firmly. All right, now we're going to release that foot. What we're going to do is a little half frog. So what I want you to do is just kind of pull your right knee out to the side, and you can place your right foot anywhere. It can be in alignment with the knee. It can be closer to the leg like tree pose. It can be further away, but I want your goal to still be pressing your right hip and that right inner thigh, or more like the groin itself, toward the mat, and trying to keep everything else relaxed. So you might try it at different angles and see where you're able to get the most stretch in that inner thigh. You can even bring the knee a little lower than the hip. It doesn't have to be exactly aligned. We're just going to stay here. So you've got to think about pressing from inside that right hip toward the mat. This is a tough one for me, I'll be honest. But it's something I'm always trying to work on. All right. Slowly bring that leg back in. Stretch the leg out. You can bend the knees a little bit if you want. You can do that side to side roll if you like. And then we'll be starting the other side. So we're going to take the legs long. They're parallel to each other. We're going to use the left hand to the left foot now. And again, pull that heel towards you. Try to keep the rest of the body comfortable. Anybody notice a big difference from one leg to the other? All right, now we're going to release that foot. We're going to go ahead and bring this left knee up somewhere near the, or like in line with the left hip, or again, remember you can take the foot out, foot in, leg lower, leg higher, once you decide where you're going to be. And again, you might still play around with it. You want to bring that forehead back down so the rest of the body is not really doing anything. We're just working that inner thigh. All right, we'll go ahead and bring that leg back in. So the legs are parallel again. We're just gonna roll those thighs a little bit. I better take a look at my watch here. Oh my goodness, already 9:30. Sorry about that, I get so sidetracked. All right, stretch those legs out long. Bring the hands right under the shoulders. Let's inhale to cobra. Let's exhale back down. Move into your child's pose, transitioning right away into our downward dog. And then stay here 3 to 4 breaths. And then you're going to walk into the forward bend. So again, we did a lot of work today for those inner thighs and the front of the hips. So we'll do a couple things once we stand up to see how they're feeling. I'm not going to do a ton of warrior work with you, but we'll do some basics and then we'll add on a little bit. So walk it forward when you're ready. Come to that forward bend. Now you might want to go ahead and bring those blocks a little bit closer. Round it over. Oh, I feel gravity pulling you down. And then tighten up a little bit through the middle as you make your way upright, finding that mountain pose. All right, so we're gonna go again. A couple of forward bend flows, a little bit of warrior work, but doing some stuff to kind of see how those hips are feeling today with all that work. So we'll start out, take a nice deep breath in, bring the hands up. We're gonna bring our palms together, bring them to our heart, and come into our forward bend. So we're gonna reach down. If we can't grab or touch the floor, have those blocks at whatever height you need them. There's nothing wrong with using blocks anytime. You just want to have them close by so that you can grab them quickly if you need to place them in different places. Now we're going to inhale, lift halfway. We're going to exhale in that forward bend again. Inhale, you can roll it up each time. We know that's easier on the back. I'll go into the dive the next couple of times, but again, do what works for you. Make your body happy, all right? Let's try it again. Inhale, forward bend, exhale. Inhale, lift halfway. Remember, if you're using those blocks, make sure you're not letting the front of the body round. You want to have those shoulders still spread apart. Option to bring the arms away. Keep that back long. Take a breath in. Forward bend, exhale. Inhale, rolling up or beautiful extended back. Hands come together. Come back to mountain pose. All right, here we go again. Inhale. Forward bend. Halfway lift. Extend the arms. Inhale here. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, mountain pose. Roll those shoulders up and back. Take your left foot, step it back. Find your warrior one. Remember, we're always thinking about that little, rather than our heart pointing straight ahead, trying to lift it up just a little bit. Take our gaze up, arms up, shoulders down. Inhale, exhale. Make sure that back foot's really pressing into the mat. Take a breath in. Exhale, open to warrior two. Open it up. Okay. Now as you turn, don't just turn the shoulders. Turn the whole torso as much as you can. Bend that right knee. Arms here. Look over the right hand. We're going to start in a reverse warrior today, so take that arm up and back. If you're reaching up, make sure the shoulder is still down. Take that back to warrior two. Side angle pose. I'm going to lean to the leg. Now you can use that block here. Left arm up or extend it up and over. But even though we start thinking about what's happening up here, make sure that you still feel a lot of energy keeping you pressed into the mat. Inhale back to warrior two. Now inhale, turn back to your to the front of your mat, but find your lunge now. So pull that back heel up, get balanced here. Take a breath in. Exhale, twist to your right. So the left arm's going to reach forward. Find that point where you don't feel like you're leaning front and back, but you're right in the middle. And then inhale back to the front. Step that left foot in next to the right. Oh, I lost my screen. Oh, there it is. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, bring the arms up. I don't know why my screen keeps going off. My camera's on. I don't know what's happening. Arms up, forward bend, exhale. I'm gonna do that warrior series here. I'm sorry guys, I'm distracted because my screen is going on and off and that's concerning me, but this is still working. Okay, I'm gonna do the left side series at this end of the mat because it's not that long. All right, so we're in our forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Extend the arms. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, coming back up. We'll go ahead and bring those arms back alongside us and then step that right foot back. Find your warrior one for the left. All right, so you can still see I've got the knee bent, back leg straight, arms up, shoulders down. Inhale here, exhale, open to warrior two. Now you are seeing my back. Hopefully you're seeing my complete back because I'm open to the other side of my mat. Nice bend in the knee, arms are reaching. Come to reverse warrior first. Back to warrior two. Side angle pose. Right arm up, perhaps angling, maybe using a block here. Back to warrior two. Now from here, when we turn back to the front, we're coming to that lunge. So pull the heel up, find your balance here. And then we're gonna rotate to the left. So spiral that body to the left. Reach the arms. Again, find that midpoint. You should be right over the center of the body. And inhale back to the front. Find your balance. And then step that right foot next to the left. Round those feet. Find that mountain pose. All right. We're going to go to a wall if you need it. We're going to do tree pose. See how those inner thighs are feeling today. So go ahead if you want to use a wall or doorway. Standing tall. Decide which leg you want to start on. It doesn't matter to me. Sometimes I like to do the harder one first. Sometimes I want to do the one that I know I'm going to be successful on. So it's up to you. Take that foot up. Doesn't matter how high the foot is, but we do want that knee pressing out to the side. So that's our goal here. If the knee is drifting forward, we're just going to lower it a little bit. And of course, we're going to always avoid pressing directly into that knee joint. Once you've got your base, get taller. Feel like somebody's pulling you up through the crown of your head. Find one thing to focus on. Even if you get a couple of breaths here, just enjoy it. And then we're going to go ahead and bring that foot back down. Come back to mountain pose. When you're ready, just set the other side up. Same thing. I don't have quite the same height I do on my other side. So I do have my heel pressing in to the inner thigh. My toes are very lightly against the knee, but they're not pressing. So if that's where your foot needs to go, just make sure you don't push. Now I can go lower too. Now my heel is right under the knee joint. This one's actually a little harder for me to get the knee out. I don't know why. Same thing, whatever you want to do with those arms. All right. Same thing. Stay longer if it's feeling great. I want to have time to do one more thing, two more things. One standing, one when we get back down. So we're going to come to the top of our mat when we're ready to move on. All right. We're going to take the arms up, inhale, exhale, forward bend. Now inhale, lift halfway. Get that back nice and straight. I'm going to have you step your left foot back just slightly, but keep the legs straight. So this is our pyramid pose, right? Like a little triangle here, long straight back. Take this, your opposite hand, so your right foot's forward, bring your left hand, so it's kind of diagonal. You're gonna bring your right hand to your right hip. Inhale first, exhale, twist to the right. You can let this knee bend a little bit, but it shouldn't be bending a lot. It's just a soft little relax. We're gonna twist to the right. Maybe take that arm up. And then as I come back down, I'm gonna go ahead and relax into my forward bend, and then bring the left foot back next to the right, and just hang in that forward bend. So when I do the other side, I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna step my right foot back. It's almost like it's in line with the left heel, but in its position under the hip. And then angle it out slightly. Keep the legs straight. Keep that back nice and straight. Once you get into that halfway lift, use your pyramid pose. If you feel like your hips aren't even, pull the left hip a little further back. All right. So now I'm going to rely on my opposite hand, my right hand. My left hand comes to my hip. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, rotate. So I really am trying to turn my chest. Trying to open my shoulder more. Again, so see what you can do. And then slowly come back. Come into your forward bend, and then let the right foot come next to the left. Grab those opposite elbows and hang. And then we're going to roll it back up. Come back to mountain pose. All right, so we're going to move back down to the mat. Then we're going to use our strap when we get to bow pose as an option. So starting here, find that perfect mountain pose. Even though we know what we're moving on to, I want you to still enjoy being here. Take a breath or two in and out. All right, next inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, dive into that forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Let's extend those arms, straighten the back one last time. Inhale here. Exhale, forward bend. Step back to your plank here. Inhale as you get there. Exhale as you lower down. All right, legs are long. Now, we're going to try bow pose. That's both hands and feet connected. If you're not wanting to do that today, I'm going to encourage you to just do one leg at a time for a while, the same stretch we did earlier. You can add to that by also having the foot in, but then also lifting the upper body, mimicking what we do in that bow pose. Or you can have both feet in, just making that connection. Maybe again with a strap, you can have a strap all the way around both feet. And then you can keep the body down. So whatever level you're at for today, if you're going to try the full bow pose, after you make that connection, right? Notice how I move my knees out. I got to bring them back parallel to each other. Forehead to the mat. You never want to lift up with your head turned on this one, okay? Nice long neck. Now, when you're ready to come up, you're going to inhale. Lift the legs up, lift the chest up. Now, I'm going to also energize by pressing my feet into my hands and then bowing my body up a little more. You can stay however long you want. When you bring this yourself back down, stretch the legs out. Maybe do that little side-to-side roll again. And then just bring the legs long, bring the arms long. Inhale, lift just the chest and forehead up. Reach those fingertips back. Long neck, long arms. Inhale, exhale. One more. Exhale, lower. Hands come back under the shoulders. And slowly push yourself all the way up and back into your child's pose. All right, let's ease out of that. We're gonna stretch the legs out in front of us. We're gonna do a forward bend like this. And then we're gonna try one in butterfly pose and see how that goes. Take the arms up first, deep breath in, get tall. Exhale, move that whole upper body forward. Inhale, lengthen it. Exhale, move it forward. So the difference is not letting just the head and chest roll down or move down, but the whole upper body. Think of getting your rib cage onto your legs. All right, slowly coming up. Now I'm going to grab a block. I'm going to show you guys something. Butterfly stretch, right? So feet together. We do this a lot on our backs. We don't do it as much sitting up. This is definitely a harder one for me to even maintain my back being straight. But I know people older than me, they can just easily bring themselves forward, bringing their head towards their feet. So you know where you are on this one. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to elevate my hips on my block. I'm going to just kind of take the block right under my hip, bring the knees together. So already I can feel that I'm a lot more comfortable here. I might not get my knees down any further, but just having my hips up really helps me to feel more stable in this position. So again, I'm going to take the arms up, inhale, exhale, forward bend. I'm going to take my hands toward the floor. Same thing here. Now you can hold the feet. You can have your hands on the knees, but don't aggressively push them down. But I'm going to keep lifting the chest forward and then down. So inhale, lengthen, exhale, forward. And again, I know realistically I'm not going to go that far, but I can feel quite a lot of stretch on the inner thighs, and I wouldn't be able to move my body forward at all if I didn't have my hips up. So that's just something that you can try if you have really tight hips or groin. All right, now slowly come out of that. Again, carefully bring the knees up and stretch your legs out. I'm going to take my block out. I'm going to roll on down to the back. Let's see where we are. Okay. Let's start out by bringing knees into the chest. Moving the knees around, rolling that back. That should feel pretty good. All right, bring the feet up, flex and point them a couple times. Maybe move the feet opposite each other. All right. Heels lined up. Arms alongside. So just getting into that basic bent knees pose. Take a breath or two here. And then next inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the right knee in. We'll start with that right leg. We're going to do really similar to what we did earlier and just add a little bit. We'll just see how we are here. So take that leg up. Stretch the left leg out. Sorry. So now we're into that full hamstring stretch. See how that feels. Now we're going to bend the right knee. Inhaling right here, and then exhale, twist, pull that leg across. Do you see a difference from where you were earlier? Right shoulder staying down, of course. We can take our head anywhere we like. All right, now as we come onto the back, we're going to come into our thread the needle. So see how that feels with that right knee pressing out? Stay right there, or bring the left foot up if you like. All right, across the legs, roll the back a little bit, and then we'll bring our feet onto the mat again. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Next inhale, arms go overhead. Exhale, bring the left knee in. Same thing, we want to stretch that leg up. Getting into that hamstring stretch. Once that leg's feeling okay, we're going to stretch the right leg all the way out. Give it a moment. All right, bend the knee as we inhale, open the arm, exhale, twist the left knee across, same thing. Notice if it feels any better than it did before, or maybe just the same. All right, come onto your back again, thread the needle. So we'll do this for the left hip now. Left foot's going on that knee, option to stay here or elevate the foot. All right, we're round crossing. Bring those knees in again. We're going to go take the legs a little wider into happy baby. I don't know where my... Okay, legs out. Now, you can be completely stable here. You can be moving, rolling, doing whatever you like, but just take the legs open and just kind of see if anything feels tight. I like this one a lot because of how it feels actually on the back. I feel like it just, my whole back is spreading out and pressing into the mat. And then I try to work my knees open a little bit gently with my elbows, right? Never being too forceful. You can hold on behind the knees if you like, or hold the leg. No real wrong way to do it. All right, let's start to bring those legs together, bring the knees together. Slowly bring the feet down. We do have time to do butterfly, so let's do that butterfly stretch here, reclined. Again, take the feet in, let the knees drop. Again, we're never gonna push our knees down, right? And the feet can be at, whatever distance feels the best for you on the hips, right? Arms can be overhead or away from you, but really focus breathing again. Sometimes we're so used to holding tension in certain parts of the body, we can't even recognize it until we stop everything else, keep the mind clear, and we just start to check each part of the body. So, if you have that tendency to be really tight in a certain area, focus in on it right away. See if you can just exhale, let those hips drop open or let those knees drop open. Couple more breaths right here. And then we're going to slowly bring the knees together. If you need to use your hands to do that, you can. Bring them together, stretch them out. Make sure you've got some room on your mat now. We're going into that full body stretch first. So inhale, stretch fingers to toes. Exhale, let everything relax. We're going to, again, maybe turn the head from one side to the other a couple times. See how that neck's feeling. And then we're going to do this again. Inhale, stretch and hold. Exhale, let it relax. Same thing, just a breath or two. Just hanging out, resting. Preparing for Savasana. Here's our final full body stretch. Now this time on the exhale, let's start to bring those arms somewhere lower than the shoulders. Remember, you can always elevate the hips or Savasana. Maybe elevate the legs at the wall. This is entirely what's comfortable for you, but we don't want to feel that we're making ourselves stay in that position, right? It should be pretty effortless. And every breath is helping you become calmer, feeling that body as it feels like it's just getting heavier into the mat, right? Like we're letting go of any tension that could be there. All right. Take a deeper breath in and out. Start to very gently, slowly move your fingers and your toes. And then you can gradually make the movements a little bit bigger. Circling the hands, stretching the fingers in and out, flexing and pointing the feet. When you do, bring yourself back up. Come up very slowly. I'm going to come on over. You guys can unmute yourselves. I'm going to stop my recording. Can't believe it. Got them everything